In this video, we will talk about important topic in Android. It's called Fragment. A fragment might have interface, maybe have or not, because maybe used just for execute code. Each fragment must have at least one host activity, and the fragment may be used in different activities. We can add or remove the fragment or replace it while the application running. As we can see, there is the activity 1 hold fragment A and activity 2 hold fragment B. It means the activity 1 is the host activity for the fragment A, and activity 2 is the host activity for the fragment B. But the fragment is a piece of activity added in the API 11 to show multi-screen in one activity and different views in different screen sizes. This shown in the tablet. We can see the activity 1 hosted two fragment A and the fragment B. This tablet view, if this view just hold activity A, this will be bad view in one screen. There is mobile screen and tablet screen. There is a 4 fragment with different colors. This fragment and this fragment and this fragment and this fragment in the vertical layout, and this vertically, and this mobile horizontally, and this tablet horizontally. We can say here this fragment and this fragment viewed in the tablet and vertically view are different from mobile. The fragment life cycle is related to the activity life cycle or the activity which hosted this fragment. We can talk here about the activity life cycle. In the activity life cycle, there is a method called when the activity created. There is a 3 method: on create and on start and on resume method, called one by one when the activity launched. After a resume method called, the activity will be visible to the user, and when the user wants to minimize or press back button, the on pause method will be called, and on stop. As we see here, activity is backgrounded. It means the activity was located in the background. In this part, the user have 2 choices. If he go to rerunning the activity or destroyed it, go outside the application. If he wanted to delete the application or close the application, the on destroy method will be called. And if he wanted to rerunning the application from the background, the on start method will be called, and on resume and on start and on resume one by one, and the activity will be running for it. In the fragment lifecycle, on attach method, this method called and attached the fragment, and on create view. And this method on create view, this method will be hold and inflate the interface layout for fragment. After that, on activity created, it's ensure that the host activity was created. After that will be called on start method and on resume. After on resume call, as we say in the activity, the fragment is running and shown in the for user. And if the activity or host activity which hosts this fragment are minimized or paused, all activities inside a host activity also will be paused too, and method on stop will be called. And as we say in the fragment, and as we say in the activity, if we was to reuse or rerunning the application, the fragment will be called, and the activity and the activity will be called after the, and the fragment will be called. on start until resume, and the fragment is running again. If the user wants to destroy the fragment or remove it, and we will talk about the remove or add or replace the fragment, we will call on destroy view, and this means the operating system trying to destroy the view and go to destroy. This means the system destroys the fragment, and on each it means the fragment go away from the host activity. We will implement the fragment demo, the simple fragment demo. As we see here, the fragment 1 hosted by activity. In this fragment we have a button. When clicked in this button, the fragment 1 will replace it to the fragment 2, as we see here. And when click in the button which is located in the fragment 2, the next fragment will be called, it's a fragment 3, and this fragment 3 also has a button. When click in this button, the fragment 3 will replace it to the fragment 4. Let us to implement. Here is the Android Studio. We can create a 4 fragment as we see in the demo. New, create class, fragment 1, this fragment we must extend fragment, we override on create method, this important method in the fragment. On create view, this important one in the fragment. And we create the interface. As we say, each fragment has own interface. Fragment 1, okay. We can change root, frame layout. It's good for fragment. And we will create button. Text, next fragment, this would have content, so, and we will put background color with the color hash code. It's H 00, the yellow. And in fragment 1 must inflate the fragment 1 XML and create the button. To use it, and create view equal inflator dot inflate art layout dot fragment 1 and container and false. This is mean false. This means there is a container. Okay, let's need a return view. See here. Okay, we'll delete this part. And as we say in the fragment 1 XML, there is the bottom. Bottom F1. We declare it bottom 1 or 12, and after this equal view to find find view by ID r dot ID. You can make ID here. F1 and F1 ID. And when click in this button, we must use set on click listener with the new view on click listener with method on click. And when click in this method, we will change from the fragment 1 to the fragment 2. We will get fragment manager dot begin transaction of the fragment and replace what? Replace the fragment 1 to the fragment 2 in the container. But the container here is the main activity which hosts the fragment. We will change the root to the fragment or frame layout. I don't need this text. I must have the ID here. Main 1, this ID. In the fragment 1, we will take 2 or 3 parameters first, but maybe take 2 or 3 parameters. But here we will just use 2 parameters, just container ir put container and the fragment which will be running dot main. This is the container and the new fragment 1 dot committed. It's like saved. When click in the bottom 1 for fragment 1, the fragment will be replaced to the fragment 2, which will be created. We will create a new class fragment 2 extend fragment and override method on create view. As we make here, you can copy and create another button. And when click in the bottom in the fragment 2, we will go in the fragment 3, replace the fragment or container from the container, replace the fragment in the container to this fragment. It will be called the fragment 3, but we must create here another layout called fragment 2 and also have the bottom, and you will change ID for this bottom, and we will change the color to differentiate it between 1 and 2 fragment. We will use hash color like 220 321. It's good color. And in the fragment 1, change the ID fragment 2, and the fragment 2 go to the fragment 3. Okay, and here create the new class fragment 3. Okay, must extend the fragment and override on create view. Here, as we make, we'll take this code and put it here, create button, F3, change this to F3 and here 3, and go to when the click in the bottom which located in the fragment 3, we will go in the fragment 4 will be created. So here fragment 3 and here is fragment 2. After go to the fragment 3, there is it's called there is no layout and there is no fragment. Okay, type new layout fragment 3 and fragment new layout fragment 4. We will take this code, the fragment 3, change F to F3 ID and the color with the red color, F to 4 solid color, and here we replace the content with the F4 ID and the color to the black color. Okay, there is a fragment 4. Okay, let's go here and here is the fragment F3, and the last one we must create it the class the fragment fragment 4. Okay, must extend the fragment and the code override on create view. Let's take this code, using bottom 3 or 3 is the same. Okay, take this code. We must initialize button F4 and 4 and ID 4. Okay, and the main activity will create button there is nothing here. This is the host activity. We must add the first fragment in this stack. We go to get support fragment dot being transaction dot add r dot id dot main. It's a container which contains the first fragment. New fragment 1 dot commit. The process for the application will be when the main activity created will be called and added the fragment 1, and when we go to the fragment 1 we find here the bottom, and when we click it in the bottom we will replace it the main container to the fragment 2, and after replace it we will go to the fragment 2. We will find the bottom, and this bottom will replace the fragment 2 is the main container to the fragment 3, and after we go to the fragment 3 we will replace it on the click in the bottom. We will replace it the main container to the fragment 4. After go to the fragment 4 we must I didn't think this is useful. There is no bottom in the fragment 4, but maybe it's not useful, but this is the whole demo which we viewed, a demo for code which we created together. when the fragment 1 click in this bottom, go to the fragment 2 and replace it, go to the fragment 3 and go to the fragment 4. And when click in the back in this code which we created together, not go to this fragment, but go to the outside the application. How to solve it? We use add it to the backstack. Every fragment must add it to the backstack, because when we click it in the back bottom, it's go from the fragment 4 to fragment 3 and fragment 2 and the fragment 1 and go outside the application. Not in this use. When we click in the back bottom, we go outside the activity. Here, dot add to the backstack. Anything is df, and here fragment 1 dot add it to the backstack with any string, and the fragment 2 dot add it to the backstack dot add it to the backstack. It's mean when click in the back bottom, the last fragment in the stack will be called. Like I started the fragment 1 and added it to the backstack, and fragment 2 added to the backstack, and fragment 3 added to the backstack, and go to the fragment 4. When the click in the back bottom, we will go to the fragment 3 and fragment 2, back to the fragment 3 and back to the fragment 2 and back to the fragment 1 and go outside the activity. This is all about the demo which we showed, and thanks for watching.